Fade to black.
What's going on, all you wild ghouls and horror movie impersonators? Logan Myerz here for Cinephellas.com, doing more 31 days of horror, and tonight I'm going to be reviewing a movie I watched for the first time, a movie people have been talking about for a long time. I finally got around to checking it out, and this film is now currently streaming on Shudder. I think it's really the only place you can find it, but I'm talking about Vernon Zimmerman's 1980 film, Fade to Black. And no, I'm not talking about Metallica's Fade to Black, because that sucks. To set up the film, we have Eric Binford, played by Dennis Christopher. You guys may know his work. He was in Django Unchained. He was also the adult version of Eddie in the original It miniseries from 1990. He played the older version. So that's where I knew him from. But this is a younger version of him, obviously in 1980, 10 years before It. And he plays Eric Binford. He's a film junkie, film geek. He works in this film reel warehouse. He lives in like Hollywood, works in Hollywood. He lives with his crazy aunt that's in a wheelchair, and she's a wash up from Hollywood, and she's just like really mean to her nephew Eric. So this guy is definitely messed up, but he's a huge film junkie. His whole life is revolved around movies, quoting movies, watching movies at home. So I felt like I could really relate to that. Kind of feeling like a loner, always watching movies, always talking about movies, kind of what I'm doing here. So, you know, from the get-go of the film, I could relate to this character. And he seems like a good guy. Through certain scenes of the movie, he'll be talking. They'll cut to, like, an old film clip from, like, movies back in the day, like Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, like black and white movies, old monster movies like Creature of the Black Lagoon, Dracula. A lot of the old classic movies, which I really appreciated. The clips add to what's going on and how Eric is feeling, so it really works out. I love how they do that throughout the film. Eric meets up with this woman, is a Marilyn Monroe lookalike, and he's all infatuated with her and kind of stalking her, really likes her, wants her to be his girlfriend. And of course, like in most movies, you know, the geek and the good-looking girl doesn't really work, and she finds somebody else, but he's really has his eyes on this Marilyn Monroe lookalike. And this movie definitely has to look at mental illness. There's a lot of social commentary on this, you know, what's going on in this film, looking at a person with mental health issues. So it reminded me much of The Joker, so I'm not sure if The Joker paid homage to Fade to Black from 1980, or they just have a lot of similarities, or I don't know if it was intentional with Joker, but I definitely felt like it was like I take it like Arthur Fleck, you know, what he's going through, how society shits on him, and he just reacts and starts going crazy. And that's how I feel with Eric Binford in this movie. He really has good intentions, but there's something off about him. As you can see throughout the film, he does have some mental issues, but you really feel for him. He seems like an overall good guy, and just people are really mean to him. And if he's at work or if he's out in the streets in Hollywood, just people always really rude to him, really mean to him. You can see why he descends into madness and starts to go a little crazy and goes on a killing spree. Throughout the movie, he dresses up as characters from like movies back in the day. He's like the Mummy, the Dracula. I think of Butch Cassidy, one scene where he's killing all these people that betrayed him or just treated him poorly. He's trying to get some sense of satisfaction. The people that hurt him, he's going as these characters that he looks up to in film and basically killing them off one by one. So I thought that was a cool premise and very original. And throughout the rest of the movie is just Eric kind of slowly going downhill and losing his shit and killing more people. And they introduce kind of a subplot with this cop that gets brought into the picture trying to track him down, and leads up to the climax and the ending of the film, which was really well done. It has to do with Eric at the Chinese theater, and it also has to do with Hotel Roosevelt, which I stayed at on Halloween like 6 years ago in Hollywood. I'll never forget it. It was a spooky place, spooky old hotel. A lot of shows have based the premise off of that hotel, American Horror Story being one. So it's a really cool, spooky old hotel. Is the backdrop in the final scene of the film with Eric and the cops. And as you can imagine, it probably doesn't end well for him, but I won't say too much about that. But a really great ending, you know, just seeing what this guy has gone through in the film and the people that hurt him and how he kills them off one by one. But you kind of feel at times like maybe he has the right intentions, just poorly executed. But it really dives into mental illness. And like I was saying, there's a lot of social commentary in this film, especially in 1980, and things we're still dealing with 40 years later in 2020, looking at society. So it's very relevant to 2020, and I thought it was a really good dramatic horror movie. Definitely had all the horror movie elements and a lot of cool clips from old movies, a lot of cool old monster flicks that I appreciated, like Universal Monsters. And overall, I thought it was really well done. Dennis Christopher playing Eric Binford, I thought he did an excellent job. It's really cool seeing this actor, you know, being younger, playing in a movie like this, and then seeing where he went 10 years later in the It miniseries, and then, you know, further down in his career being in a Quentin Tarantino film. So his career has definitely progressed over the years, done some bigger projects. But overall, I was really impressed with this film. Fade to Black, I went in with low expectations. Just saw a few pictures of this guy like putting face paint on and being Dracula and things like that. But really got invested in the character early on in the film, being a film junkie myself and always talking about movies, quoting movies, and basically that's what I think about most of the days because I love the entertainment business, movies and TV shows. And that's why we have Cinephellas and this community where we can all be geeks together and talk about films and not really caring what other people think of us. It's all about the love and passion for movies and the entertainment business. So I really related to that character. Obviously, he starts to go crazy and kill people. I can't relate to that, or I don't condone that. I thought the storytelling was really good. It was a little slow at times, but I think the payoff is really good, and a lot of great kill scenes in this film, a lot of great effects. I love all the makeup and costumes that Eric Binford puts on in this movie, the different characters he portrays when he's killing people, and I thought that was really cool. So overall, I had a really great time with Fade to Black, watching it for the first time, and this is a movie I highly recommend you guys watch during the Halloween season. It's currently streaming on Shudder. If you guys don't have that service, definitely sign up for it. It's worth the price. So I'm giving Vernon Zimmerman's Fade to Black from 1980 a 4 out of 5 vampire hair pieces. So I want to hear from you guys. Have you guys seen Fade to Black? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What did you guys think of the ending? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myerz signing out with my mate up here, Eric Binford. Ooh, that boy's spooky. Until the next horror movie review for 31 Days of Horror. Cheers!